Hi, welcome to Nick's Kickin' Kitchen. I'd like to start off, give our sponsors a little shout out. Thank you to Dunkin' Donuts and the Boston Red Sox 2018 World Series champions for sponsoring this. It's going to be a wicked good show. So today we're going to be learning about how to make Fry Jacks. Now making Fry Jacks is very similar to making flour tortillas. So our ingredients: flour. We're going to use 3 pounds, about 12 cups of flour. It's going to be a big batch. We feed big families here. We're going to be using 1 tablespoon of salt. Baking powder, 3 tablespoons. Finishing off with half a cup of lard. A little bit of lard. Crisco never hurt anyone. I'm going to do about half a cup of that. And then we're going to add water till the dough is soft. So a little bit of this is up to your discretion. So, here's how we're going to start. We're going to take the dry ingredients, 12 cups, tablespoon, 3 tablespoons. We're going to mix it together. Then we're going to add the lard, mix that all up, and then we'll get to the water. All right.
Time to make the donuts. Dunkin' Donuts are always fresh. I made the donuts. We make them at least twice every day. Time to make the donuts. Not a few kinds, like supermarket. Made the donuts. Time to make the donuts. But up to 52 varieties. The donuts. Time to make the donuts. I made the donuts. Dunkin' Donuts, up to 52 varieties, fresh day and night. No supermarket can say.
Welcome back to Nick's Kickin' Kitchen. Got my bowl. We're going to start mixing the dry ingredients. It's going to be 12 cups of flour. Now, you can always kind of guesstimate with the cups of flour. Or you can make it nice and even, use a knife. I'm more on the guesstimation kind of cooking. So, now we've got about 3 cups in here. See that? About a quarter of the way there. Good. All right. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, good job everyone following along. You've got the most difficult part done, our mound of flour. Now, can anyone at home remember how many tablespoons of baking powder I said? You're right, 3 tablespoons. Great job listening. So, this baking powder seems to be a little bit old. And we're going to really have to work for that. Now, I wouldn't do the guesstimation when we're working with the baking powder. We want a nice few even tablespoons. Don't know what kind of power is in that powder. Don't want to mess around there. So, 3, good to go. Now, a little bit of salt. 1 tablespoon of salt. All right. So there's our dry ingredients. So, now, we want to mix that all up. That'll work. Big spoon. Want to make sure you do this nice and even before we start mixing in that Crisco. There you go. Step 1. Nice and easy. I'm Nick, and I approve this message. Alright, so, welcome back. I've got my half a cup of lard right here. So lard's going to play an essential role in making good Fry Jacks or floured tortillas. So, I'm going to scoop that in there. Doesn't that look scrumptious? Love lard. There we go. So, don't put that lard away. We're going to need it later. But you can put away your salt and your baking powder. We're all done with those. Keep out that flour and baking powder. We'll have a little more fun with those as we go along. So now we're going to start mixing this all together. We want to make sure that we're not missing any droplets of the precious lard. There we go. Now I myself am fine mixing with just my hands. I feel it's a little bit more up close and personal with the food. You want to make sure you have very clean hands, especially in today's world. When you do this, so you're going to want to wash with warm water and soap. But then you can just start getting into mixing the lard into your dry ingredients. Probably.
World Series ticket. $5,000. My stereo, my TV, my car, my house. I give you anything. Go Red Sox! My motorcycle, my firstborn kid, anything. Seeing the Red Sox win the World Series, priceless. Shut up! There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
$5,000? Oh, crap, I wasn't serious!
MasterCard congratulates the 2004 World Series champion Boston Red Sox and reminds their fans that we have them all on tape.
All right, guys, that's everything. Let's roll.
Get off!
Honey!
My baby!
Honey, it's only fair. Come on. Come on, the Sox won the whole thing.
No!
Go Sox! Come on.
My baby!
That's the way it is.
Alright, so at this point we are a little bit over 5 cups of water in. The dough is really getting to that point that I want it to be at. As soon as I mix in that last little bit of flour at the bottom here, we're going to have probably the exact consistency I want for this dough. Now again, you can mix however you want. I always find it more enjoyable to, like I said, get up close and personal with the food. But this doesn't have to be done by hand. It's the real Belizean way to do things, I would say. But however you feel comfortable, I'm happy.
Your husband seems rather weary.
He has a very taxing occupation. He's on call day and night. He hardly gets any sleep.
Good gracious.
And his work demands absolute consistency. But is he a brain surgeon? Not exactly.
Time to make the donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts. Up to 52 varieties fresh day and night. Who else goes to that trouble?
Okay, so we've got our dough. Now we're going to knead it. You're going to have to find yourself a nice flat surface. I would powder that baby down. Make sure our dough is not going to stick. Again, want to make sure that surface is nice and clean, squeaky clean. But we have a nice powdered surface to knead our dough. Again, you can add a little bit of flour, a little bit of water to find that consistency you want for the dough. But, you know, once you get there, you can kind of feel it out. Might take you a couple times to really get that feeling you want in the dough. We're going to knead it till it's nice and smooth. Try and get out any of these lumps. And, you know, this is where you're going to be working for a little bit of time. Definitely the hardest or the most intense part of making Fry Jacks. I'm Nick, and I approve this message. So you can see the consistency of the dough starting to form here. Looks nice. We're just gonna keep on kneading that out until completely smooth. At this point, we're pretty much rearing to go. Now, this is where the Crisco is going to come back in. It's going to be a lot of fun. Once you have the dough to the point that you're comfortable with it, feels smooth, then we're going to start making our little balls of dough. So that will be whatever step we're on. Let's say step 5.
We're trying to figure out a way that we can introduce sale to the Boston fans.
What if we get an ice cream truck? You guys go around Boston and give out free ice cream to the fans.
I'll let Bank of America get the truck, but the ice cream's gonna be on me. There you go, buddy.
Great, but how much does it cost?
It's on sale.
But I need to know the price.
Right there. I'm your guy.
Okay, what is it?
What is what?
The price.
Right here.
Right, but how much is it?
Don't worry about it. It's on sale. You're welcome.
Okay, so it's on sale, but you have to tell me the price. Right?
Me? Or me?
How much does it cost?
It's on sale.
They're right.
He's not right. I'm right. He's right.
So price is right, and right is right, and he's not wrong. The price is still right, and it's on sale.
You guys should get another job.
Next.
Alright, so our dough is looking good. It's nice and soft, very consistent throughout. That's what we want. So now the next step is we are going to make little dough balls. So what you're going to do, take about a fistful. Everyone has different size fists, obviously, but about that much. And we're going to pull it like this so it's smooth, and then you're going to pinch it. Okay, and then pull off that bottom part. Now we should have a nice little round, smooth ball. And once you have that, what we're going to do is take a little bit of Crisco in our hands, rub it around, and coat that ball with a nice little layer of Crisco. We don't want these to stick. You just coat it. Have a little shine to it, and then we're going to leave it. Okay? And that's ball number 1. We're going to continue like that throughout this set of dough. So, same thing, again, kind of pulling it to make it into a circle. Ready? Pinch the bottom. You can see we got a nice smooth ball of dough. Little Crisco. I'm taking a pinch, coating it, and then letting it sit. Again, gonna have to do this for all the dough, and then we're going to let it sit for 15 to 20 minutes before we do anything with this dough. It's important to let it sit. So just get it, stretch it out. You can see it's becoming smooth. I'm gonna pinch that all together, and then with my fist, pinch off the bottom. And again, you're gonna be able to notice the difference. It's nice and smooth, perfect little dough ball. And there we go. So continue on until you finish off your row. That's it for step 6.
Customer, 2 minutes, triple.
What's up?
Tough call, pasta. Large cold brew?
Better make it a medium. I only have 2 minutes.
Penalty at 6:32 in the second period.
Hey, Rep, check your voicemail. You missed some calls.
Wow, she knows your order?
Yeah, I'm pretty much a regular here.
Where there's hockey, there's Dunkin'. So grab a cold brew for game time. America runs on Dunkin'.
Okay, so here's your finished product. Now we're gonna let them sit 15 to 20 minutes. Each one of these makes 4 Fry Jacks or 2 stuffed Fry Jacks, depending on which way you're going with that. If you were going to continue to make flour tortillas, each one of these would be a flour tortilla. Now, if I was making flour tortillas, I wouldn't make these dough balls as big. Probably more around this size right here for the flour tortillas. But because we're making Fry Jacks, make them a little bit bigger. And now we're going to let them sit for 15 to 20 minutes. I'm Nick, and I approve this message. Dough has sat for 20 minutes. Doesn't change colors or anything. Looks about the same. But 20 minutes later, now we're going to put our oil on the stovetop, get it heated up. So I'm going to use this cast iron skillet because it's going to even the heat well. Now you can use vegetable oil, whatever. We have extra virgin olive oil. A little bit more expensive, but it's going to taste fantastic. I think right about there. You want to be able to, you want to have enough that you're able to flip Fry Jacks. So we'll get into that after. But let's get that oil heating up while we go and start making our first Fry Jacks. So you take a ball of dough. We're going to take a ball of dough, but first we are going to, a little more Crisco, grease up that surface. Again, we don't want anything to stick. Going to just keep greasing it up as we go. Alright, so surface nice and greasy. Now, take one of our balls of dough. This one's an especially nice looking one, so we'll do that. And now, going to flatten this out into a circle. You can do this whatever way you feel like doing it. But you want to get it to the point where it's nice and thin, a good circle. Okay. Alright, so you can see here we got a nice circle, okay, and it's pretty thin. Maybe we get a close-up of this. You're gonna get it nice and thin, and then you have 2 options. You can make a normal Fry Jack and cut this into 4s, or you can make a stuffed Fry Jack and cut it in 2. Or you can make really big stuffed Fry Jacks. If you really want to load them up, have a meal, just fold this in half. So that's good for that. I'm gonna take my knife.
Before, not for this.
I'm gonna take my knife. We're going to cut this into 4s. And there we go. That's all you need. That's what it'll be like. Nice and easy. Good.
Hey, look at Manny. Yeah, dude marches to his own beat.
I mean, you never know what he's going to do next. Hola.
What does that even mean?
Manny being Manny.
Okay, so while we're waiting for that oil to heat up, I'll also show you how to do a stuffed jack. Stuffed jack, very similar. Only real difference is that we're going to use half and fold it over, put some eggs, some cheese in there. We got a Friday during Lent cooking show. We'll stick along with those guidelines. So, same deal. Flatten it out. Get ourselves a nice circle. Alright, so now that I have that where I want it, I am going to cut it in half. Alright, so here's the deal. I'm going to fold this over. I'm going to put whatever I want in the middle, but I can't put too much in, because if I put too much in, then I'm not going to be able to pinch this and all of the stuff will come out in the oven. So I'll just show you. Stay right there. We've got our eggs and cheese. We're working with a cheddar cheese today. Nice yellow cheddar. So, just going to take that cheese, put it in there, maybe a little bit more. Then, take the egg, and we'll just start putting some of that in there. Went with a basic scramble. You can see that in cooking video number 2 if you're interested in learning how to make those. Now this might already be too much, but definitely don't want to be putting more than that. And then, I think that's going to be just fine. Then you're just going to go through and pinch and make sure that the food isn't coming out the edges. So, again, one more side to pinch. There we go. Alright, so I definitely overloaded this one, but all that matters is that right before I pop it in, I pinch this well, and then the frying it should hold it. But that's essentially all you need to do. You got a little pocket, okay, and then we're going to put it in the oil, flip it over. It's going to be delicious. So here's your normal fry jack, here's your stuffed jack. Again, you could do a stuffed jack with a hole and fold that over and pinch it and roll it a little more. I think it's better with the half because you have a little bit less dough. With the whole one, you're going to end up with a lot of extra dough. But what you could do with that is cut off that extra dough, cover it with a little cinnamon and sugar, and you'd have like a little churro left over. So, I think our oil should be about ready, but as soon as it is, we'll get started.
What are Mommy and Daddy like before they're Dunkin'? Her hair's a hot mess, for one. It looks like she's sleeping, but she's awake. Her eyes are like... She looks like a lion with a bad haircut. Oh, and late for work. I have to go.
Oh, my gosh. Where are my keys?
Your Dunkin' doesn't make you you, but it helps. Delicious Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Pick some up where you buy groceries.
Okay, so our oil is heated up. So I'm going to take one of the stuffed and one of the regular. We'll head on over and I'll show you how it's done. All you're going to do, come on now, close. All you're going to do, you're just going to lay it in and lay it in. Now, one important thing with the normal jacks is that you do not want the whole thing to stay under the oil if you want that nice bubble to form. So what you're going to do is you're just going to lift it up out of the oil. Wherever that oil sits is where it's going to be pretty flat. But then that surrounding area is going to puff up real nice. So you can see that happening right here, like that. And in reality, you could be cooking 4 of these at once, but just wanted to show you how it's done. So the stuffed one, same kind of deal. We're not going to have that same puff. And then you cook these to how you like them. Cook it to golden brown. Well, you can see with this fry jack, we've got a very nice bubble forming over here. So that's perfect. That's what we're looking for. Formed really well. And then, again, you can flip it whenever you want. Let me get that nice and brown, and then it's going to end up looking somewhat like that. I'm Nick, and I approve this message. Now for the best part, we get to try them out. You can see we got 2 stuffed jacks right here. Take another bite. Let's see what's in the middle there. Oh, that's beautiful. And then we've got, for dessert, a fry jack covered in cinnamon and sugar. That's about it. Nice and easy. Pop them in the oil, flip them over when they're good, and then take them out. I usually dry them on a paper towel and then serve, and they're delicious.